One of the biggest barriers that people identify for not coming to get help would be lack of time. In fact, we put that up for anything. Why we don't exercise is lack of time, why we don't plan our meals is lack of time, why we don't take care of ourselves, why we don't go to the primary care physician. But underneath it, I think that beyond lack of time, because we all use our time somehow, that people are fearful. If I go and get help and it doesn't help, then what does that mean? What if I finally reach out to try and get help and it can't help? So I have a little bit of hope by not getting help. What are they going to think of me? If I reach out and tell someone what's really going on with me, what are they going to think of me? Is there really help for me? Stigma is one of the biggest barriers to getting mental health help. In society, we have a belief, as I mentioned about mental illness, that we are weak if we need help. And we know that it's social. We see men have a much harder time reaching out and getting help than women do. And it doesn't take a psychologist saying it's more acceptable for women to seek help. Women talk to their friends more, women talk about problems more, and so naturally women are more comfortable reaching out and seeking the help of a psychologist. But there's a lot of stigma about having the need for help. It conveys weakness. We think about the sickest of the sick. We think about what people would be going into the ER for versus going in to take care of themselves for. People often wait too long because of stigma, because of barriers, whatever they might be, time, money, whatever we tell ourselves, to get the help they need. At the end of the day, there's really nothing worse than doing nothing. So despite the stigma, despite all the barriers, if you continue to not treat the problem that's there, it's likely to get worse. I think the opposite of that is mental wellness. It's the orientation towards looking at our mental health, working towards preventing becoming ill. Mental wellness is going to your primary care physician every year to find out on the front end if anything's going on that we might want to be aware of. It's important to look at it from the perspective of prevention and wellness. And if we went to someone once a year for our wellness, it would be a lot easier to identify signs of illness. The studies show us that poor mental health leads to heart problems, diabetes, obesity, depression. All of these things are interrelated. Strokes. So we have people who are experiencing physical problems as a result of ill mental health. It's taking care of yourself, not letting yourself get sick, because we're all subject to sickness in this world.